Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Nakwam, watchman of Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday Night Fire, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashima Mashiach, Wamalaki Bashai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai. Our hearty, mighty Shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there in the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent, and they're abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Akwaf out there, the sincere sisters that are out there zealous and diligent and on fire, moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom to the ancient men. Shalom to the children. Shalom to the elect of Israel scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to everybody tuned in there live through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashima Mashiach, Wamalak Yahushai, to another Monday Night Fire. Shalom Williams, Don Israel Tamid, Nadayab, Quadan, Servant 144K, Octave Rectitude, KOY Gabawar, Benjamin Youngwolf, Shalom, Yashab Rael, HBK Ent, Praise Yahweh, Daria Wash, Shalom Elder, Tribe of Issachar, 777, Shashnav Judah, and everybody else tuning in and that will tune in, Lord willing. Right? We know we're living in the end days. Right? Time is ticking. The Most High's prophecies unfolding. You have many events transpiring in the so-called Middle East, domestically, internationally, all throughout the four corners of the earth. And the spirit of endurance must be made manifest within the men and women that believe in Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. So we're diving into, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, the fiery trials of this truth. Right? The fiery trials of this truth. Let's kick it off with Ecclesiasticus, the second chapter. Right? Because everybody comes into this knowledge and comes into this truth. And everybody has their own idea of what this truth should be like to them. You know, some people come into this truth and they expect, to become rich. Some people expect to become famous because they study and they know, they learned a few precepts. You know, some people expect to heap up wives into themselves. Some people expect to gain a brotherhood. Some people expect many things. There are many things that you may have seen, whether it's on social media, YouTube, or just in your own mind of what you think this truth is going to be like. But one thing that a lot of people may not truly understand when you come into this knowledge, when you become seasoned, you've been in this thing for a few years, you begin to settle down and understand, but it still gets hard at times. And one thing, again, that brothers may not truly understand, and even sisters, is that in this truth, you have to go through the fire, right? The trials of adversity, the trials of the fiery furnace, the trials of long suffering, these things are a prerequisite before entering into the kingdom of heaven, right? This is Sirach chapter 2:1. It reads, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." Right? So when you come into this truth, the Lord is giving you a strong warning. Right? Anything that you invest in, wise counselors are going to give you the ins and outs. Like any job, if you know that you're about to do construction, they'll say, prepare for this heat, man. We out in the heat. They might say, prepare for the snow, right? Prepare to not have any water, man. Prepare to have your hours cut. Prepare not to get any overtime. Prepare yourself, man. Everything before you indulge in it requires a level of preparation, right? That you can mentally and spiritually get yourself together so you can get used to what you're going to get involved in. Even in sports, right? When you want to join the team, prepare yourself for practice, man. Right? Hours, once a day. Sometimes they got practice 3 times a day, twice a day, watching film, working out, being away from your children. You might be away from your woman. These professional athletes, they're on the road, man. They don't get to go home every night. They might be doing, 5 games in 8 days, man. So they got to prepare themselves for these things. When you come into this knowledge, you have to prepare yourself for temptation. Temptation is going to come your way. What is temptation? Right? Real quick, let's go to the book of Matthew. Right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 4. Right? Let's go to Matthew. Temptation, in simple terms, is being tested. Being tested. So when you come into this knowledge, prepare to be tested. Prepare to be put on trial. Prepare to be proven. You said that you're an Israelite. You said you believe in the Most High. You said this truth is beautiful. You rejoiced in this knowledge, man. You know, you made all these social media posts. You told your family, your cousins, your aunts and uncles. You had 50 tabs up of many different videos, you know. So you came into this knowledge, but now when you come into this knowledge, get ready to be put to the test to see how much you really believe in this knowledge, right? So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, and verse number 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. So another title for Satan is the tempter. So Satan is the tempter, and he has lesser demons, for lack of better terms, that work on his behalf to test you. Their job is to provoke you and to see if you are going to stand faithful in these last days. And they're going to come through different avenues. They're going to come as a woman, right? They may come as money. It may come as a job opportunity. It may come as a brother did something to you, and now you got these strange thoughts in your mind of envy or a grudge or murmuring or backbiting or evil suspicions, right? Something may come where somebody did something to you and you don't want to forgive them, right? You want to execute vengeance, and temptation is telling you, go ahead and do it. Get your payback, get your get back. All of these are different forms of temptation. Yahushua, he himself was tempted, but yet without sin. He was tested, he was put to the trial. Now, the tempter is going to tempt me differently than how he may tempt you and the next brother and the next brother, right? Because what I may in my flesh may find enticing may not be what you find enticing. I may be a brother, and this isn't the case. I may be a brother that's struggling smoking cigarettes. So Satan may come to me through old friends, right? Through habits, right? Through old worldly women I may have been with, people that hit you up that used to smoke cigarettes or weed or what you call the plug, and all these men that you made deals with. These people may get in contact with you, may try to get in contact with you. And a weed man may move next door to you, man. You know, you may be walking down the street and you see a damn God knows what, right? Somebody knocking your door, drop off a damn bag of weed to you, huh? Right? So these are the ways that Satan may tempt you. Now, he may tempt me that way if I struggle with cigarettes and weed, but if you struggle with women, he may come to you another way. A woman at your job, he may come with you. He may come to you as, some worldly woman that you used to deal with back in the day, right? Some woman that you may encounter. So Satan is going to try everybody according to what they struggle with in the flesh. So we can't make stones bread. I've never been able to do that. You can't do that. So if Satan came to us to try to tempt us to make stones bread, that would be easy to overcome because we know we can't do that. But he came to Yahushua with that temptation because he knew that Yahushua could perform these miracles. And he wanted Yahushua to perform these miracles for his own vanity and his own purpose, but not to fulfill the will of the Most High. Right? So that's what temptation is. Temptation is being tested, going through what you call a trial, right? So the Lord said, if you come to serve him, prepare your soul for temptation. Prepare for Satan to try you and come at you in different ways throughout different times of the day, right? Daytime, nighttime, different portions in your life, right? Rather you've been in this truth 3 years or 5 years or 7 years. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble, right? So time of trouble is coming. If it wasn't coming and if it's not happened, then the Most High wouldn't say, make not haste in time of trouble. He's telling you that troublous times are going to come. You may be currently going through troublous times. You may currently be going through financial hardships, and it may increase as this economy begins to waver. You may be going through marital hardships. You may be dealing with all types of, you may be a brother that's single, huh? Right? And you're struggling with lust, and that's a troublous time for you throughout certain times of the day. You may be a woman and you're struggling with particular things. Maybe you have health infirmities, maybe your health never gets better. Maybe there's always something, that's an issue. The Lord says, set your mind right and constantly endure. Don't make haste, and don't be quick to run away from the Most High when the Most High brings you into trouble. Why are you supposed to cleave more to the Most High when he brings this trouble to you? It's easy to run away, right? Verse number 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So whatever is brought upon you, it didn't say some things you take cheerfully, but then some things you curse out the Most High. It says whatsoever is brought upon thee. And you might lose your job tomorrow. God forbid. Hey, the Lord said you have to take that cheerfully, man. You might sprain your ankle. You got to take that cheerfully, right? You might lose your wallet and all of your money. You got to take that cheerfully. You might be driving, and your car might break down out of nowhere on your way to an interview, and you got to take that cheerfully, man. Whatever you deal with, you have to pray that Yahweh Shema Mashai gives you the spirit to take these things cheerfully. And it's very, very hard to, that's very abnormal. It's strange to take affliction cheerfully. We were trained in our lives to deal with affliction through grabbing a bottle, getting high, making a phone call, doing God knows what, being upset, punching a hole in the wall, throwing stuff, being angry. People cut themselves, beat themselves, drink themselves to death when they go through hard times. Seek a therapist, a psychiatrist, pop pills, take a walk. Many things people deal with, it's not with the most, I'm going to say it like this. The way that people deal with trouble and affliction is not what the Most High has required of us, man. It's not what he expects out of us. It's not how the Most High told you how to deal with it. He said, take it cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So again, you don't see the word if right here. It doesn't say if you're changed to a lower state. It says when thou art changed to a lower state. So it's inevitable. Every brother in this knowledge, every sister in this knowledge, if you're one of the elect, if you're one of the chosen, you're going to be brought to a lower state. It's going to happen. The Lord didn't say if or maybe it could happen. He says, when it does happen, be patient. Now, the word patient, let's go to this word patient, right? Let's go to the etymology of the word patient, right? It's a often misused word amongst the sons of men, right? Now, here's the word patient, right? It really means to suffer, right? Patient, capable of enduring misfortune, suffering without complaint. See that? So some brothers, man, you catch hell and what the fuck? Why did God do this to me? Lord, why would you do this? I thought you brought me into this truth and you did this and it's your fault. And everybody want to point the finger, blame the Most High, charge the Most High with folly. Lord, why did you do this? You start questioning the Most High. Am I really in this truth? Am I an Israelite? Lord, why would you bring this upon me? The Lord said you have to endure. A true man of patience is a man of virtue. Everybody can have all of this knowledge, but you don't have patience. When affliction comes, your knowledge means nothing. True knowledge teaches you that enduring misfortunes and hardships is pleasing in the eyes of the Most High. That's also knowledge. Knowledge is not just geography, geopolitics, the Hebrew and the Greek. Knowledge is also knowing how to please the Most High through the wisdom and through the breakdowns that the Heavenly Father has given us through his former prophets, right? So it reads, capable of enduring misfortune and suffering without complaint. It means from the Latin, patientum, bearing, supporting, suffering, enduring, permitting, slow to anger, self-restrained, having the temper which endures trials and provocations. Look at this. Awaiting or expecting an outcome calmly and without discontent. And that's a beautiful spirit, man. You're driving. You might be on your way to an interview. You need that job. They said they're going to pay you $65 an hour, right? They said you got the job. Just show up. Don't be late. You got the job. Just don't be late. You're driving. You got your interview outfit on. You're driving. All of a sudden, your damn hood of your car starts steaming, man. Your car breakdown. You get a flat. You got 4 flats. And a lot of brothers there slam the damn car. Some people hold the damn steering wheel and just scream the F word, man. And when you drive by, you see them screaming at the damn windshield. Some people punch the windshield, man. Some people throw in the towel. I can't do this truth no more. I can't. Some people give up, man. You know, some people pull out a damn cigarette they had secretly in their glove compartment box, man, and pack the damn box of cigarettes and shake it up, take the cigarette out and smoke it. That's not being patient. You have to know how to deal with these outcomes calmly, even when these outcomes that come to you are not expected. You're going to have improbable, unexpected outcomes and curveballs that the Heavenly Father throws at you. You have to stay there and deal with it. That's what it means when Sirach chapter 2 and 4 says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Verse number 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. And there's really only two types of men in these last days. You got acceptable men and unacceptable men. There's no in between. Well, what if I'm kind of acceptable on the Shabbat, but I'm unacceptable on the no. Either you're acceptable or you're unacceptable. Either when you're accepted, it means you're chosen, right? So the way that gold is tried in the fire is a simple process. They mine the gold out the earth. The gold that you see out the earth has many impurities on it naturally. Parts zinc, it could be copper, it could be nickel, it could be traces of silver. There are undesirable traits that the miner sees on that gold or the jeweler. In order to remove those impurities and receive pure gold, the gold must be put through the furnace. The furnace is hot, it's full of pain, it's full of affliction, it's full of heat, it's uncomfortable. But that heat serves a purpose to remove the silver, the zinc, the dirt, the magnesium, and any other element that is not desired. It removes all of that. And then it comes out pure gold. We're the gold of the Most High. We have to, the Lord said in Lamentations that we're likened unto gold. Right? Let's get that. It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse number 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. So we as gold, we've lost our luster, right? Luster is a key attribute to any man that knows metals, right? When you deal with luster, see if we can go back to the etymology of it, right? Luster is how a metal shines, right? See if we can get that. Gloss, it's like you. Gloss, radiance, quality of shining by reflecting light. So it doesn't produce its own light. When you see something that's shiny, it's not like the sun where it produces its own light, right? It's reflecting light, right? And the light that we get is from Yahweh Shema Shai. And we reflect that light and we glow. We're glowing, right? We have the word in us. We're not the word, but we have the word in us. We're shining, right? Here's another one: gloss, radiance, splendor, brilliancy, right? So that's what it means, which is related to lustrum, meaning purification. So luster goes back to the Latin word lustrum, which means purification, right? Now they actually have a I'm not gonna, maybe I might not pull it up. They have a luster test, right? Luster in mineralogy describes how light reflects off a mineral surface. It's a key property to identify minerals and is broadly categorized as either metallic or non-metallic. A metallic luster appears shiny and reflective, right? Like metal, right? While non-metallic lusters vary, including glassy, pearly, silky, resinous, and dull. So you want to have a shiny and reflective luster. And that's only done by going through the fire. You don't want to look like this. Look at this. There's nothing shiny about that. Nobody wants to buy this stone right here. If you saw that and you looked at that, you're like, is that mold? What is that? Right? When you see shiny gold, right? You see this bright glow right here, right? And this comes by means of being put through the furnace, put through the fire, right? Now, some guys, some men that deal with goldsmith, they put that through the furnace multiple times because one time is not enough to remove it. So they'll look at it, it's not enough, and you'll go back through the fire. And the Most High deals with us in like manner. Just because you went through the fire one time doesn't mean it's over with. There are still things inside of us that the Most High may not deem acceptable. So he'll put you through the fire over and over and over and over. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 4 and 12. Right? Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 4 and 12. So don't think when you come into this knowledge, okay, you dealt with some hardship, now it's over with. No, you're going to go through it again. We're going to go through this fire until Yahweh Shemi Abishai gets us out this captivity, man. 1 Peter chapter 4 and 12. Beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. So don't think it's strange when you catching hell, man. You're not the only one catching hell. You're not the only brother that lost his job. You're not the only brother who has health issues. It's not, woe is me, God, why me? We're all going, last time I checked, we're all going through these curses. And Daniel went through the curses. He was in captivity when he made his supplications to the highest. Ezekiel was in captivity when he prophesied by the river Kabar. You know, Jeremiah prophesied during the siege. It wasn't Jeremiah. It wasn't just Ezekiel. It's all of us. We're all going through hell. I go through hell, man. Just because you see brothers out there teaching on the highways and byways and, you know, whatever, it's like it don't mean brothers ain't catching hell, man. Hey, we go through what you go through, man. Brothers don't come out of chariots, man. We don't come out of chariots. We don't close lives and we're in the third heaven. And we close these lives and we got work. We got plantations, man. Hey, brothers have a wife or wives. Some brothers got children, man. Hey, brothers got health issues, man. You know, brothers don't have it, man, like that. Some brothers are broke. Some brothers don't have a car. They got to catch the buses, man. You know, they got to walk. They got stress in their life. So maybe some brothers needed to hear that, man. You're not the only one going through it. And also, the famous saying is somebody always got it worse, right? Somebody always got it worse than you, man. Slacky. Somebody always got it worse. I'm telling you, man. You think, oh, man, I got to work 10 hours. Well, you got one brother working 12 hours. Oh, I got to work 12 hours. Some brothers, they working 16 hours. 16 hours in the sun. My ankle hurt. Some brothers don't have a damn ankle, man. I know brothers in this knowledge, they paralyzed from the waist down. They can't move. They wish their ankle was sprained. They wish they could feel that their ankle was sprained. Here you are, you know what about a sprained ankle. These men wish they could feel their ankle sprained, that they can have hope that they can walk again. Here you are complaining, I got these kids, I got to deal with this. Hey, some woman, she's longing to have kids, children. She can't get pregnant. She has 7 miscarriages and 3 stillborns. Some woman died in labor. I got these kids, they get on my nerves and so. Somebody always has it worse, man. I didn't get this job and I didn't deal with this. And well, brother, at least you in this knowledge, man. Right? That's one thing that you'll always have is still been in this truth. So don't think it's strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice, and as much as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with the exceeding joy. And this is deep right here. This is hard. This is harder than in-depth prophecy because you have to live this. You have to find it in your spirit to be joyful when you're catching hell, which is uncommon. We were never brought up like that. But being in this truth, you have to change. You have to grow. You have to get to that point and mature in this knowledge where you can actually rejoice when you're catching hell. And that comes through experience. You know, that's why in Romans, let's go to Romans, the 5th chapter. Right? Let's go to Romans chapter 5. Right? This Romans chapter 5 and verse number 3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. And it's a beautiful chapter right here. You got to glory in tribulations, man. You got to glory when you catching hell. You got to glory when you stub your toe. I know some brothers, man, they catch hell. The first thing they say, all praise to the Most High. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shah. Somebody was trying to break in their car. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shah. You know, they sprained their knee. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shah. They catching the hell. They getting 15 phone calls. They women all in their face. They children all in their face. They can't breathe, right? They wake up. They heart palpitations, man. What they call that when you got them demons on you when you sleep, sleep paralysis. You know, they wake up. They with a nightmare. They say, "Call on Yahweh Shema Shah." Glory in tribulations. Pray that the Most High gives you that ability to glory in tribulation. That's a gift from the Most High. You can't do that. It's not in your nature. It's not in man's nature to glory. The flesh is not built to do such things. Only the Spirit of the Most High can allow you to do that. You can't work out and get strong enough to glory in tribulations. You can't eat right and have a Dr. Sebi diet, and now you can glory in tribulations. You can't run every morning, 5 a.m., run 2 miles, and all of a sudden your body has learned how to glory. No, the body can't glory. The spirit can glory. And the spirit has to understand the end game of glory and tribulations. It tells you, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, right? So when you're catching hell, it teaches you how to endure that hell, right? It teaches you how to endure that. Some people, man, they work in certain elements and their hands are raw, like farmers or guys that chop down trees. Their hands have been built with these hard calluses and these hard hands to be able to swing that axe over and over. Their hands have adapted to the tribulation that the flesh feels. Even farmers and certain people, man, boxers, their knuckles are, people could punch holes in walls, man. People get what you call a strong chin. People that box, they call these guys, they call them a strong chin, pretty much. And that guy got a tough chin. He could take a hit. He could take a punch. How do they know he could take a punch? Because he's taken them before. He takes them all the time. He has a tough chin. He could take a hook. So he's built, when he get in that ring and he throw that hook at him, he kind of snap right back, man. Rookies, they get hit, they get chin checked, they on the ground. And the ref doing this, man. So when you're going through hell, it teaches you how to endure that hell. And you become used to dealing with that hell. The same way a farmer or a lumberjack hands get used to dealing with the pain of swinging that axe. The same way a boxer gets used to his chin and his knuckles being able to endure pain. It reads, and patience, endurance. It's like in patience, experience, and experience hope. So now that you know how to suffer, you begin to learn how to deal with tribulation. So next tribulation that comes, you know what? I dealt with that before. I expect it to come again. Here it comes. I'm ready. And some brothers, you have that experience. You're a veteran of suffering. You suffer so much, it's like what they say, water off a duck's back at this point, man. You caught so much hell the years you've been in this knowledge from every level, you become numb to it. Some brothers, you become numb to it. You have to love catching hell. Yeah, I said it, man. You have to love catching hell. You have to befriend it, man. I say that all the time. Stop being so shy with catching hell, right? You have to accept it. He's coming. Get ready for it. You can't put it off. Learn how to deal with them. Embrace it. That's experience. And experience hope. And why hope? Because now you know once you catch that hell, you went through it before, you've endured it. It takes a while to endure, and now you're just waiting and hoping that the Most High delivers you from that tribulation. All right. So let's go back to this. I actually had another precept. 1 Peter chapter 4 and 13. But rejoice. So you got to glory in tribulations. And as much as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. So that's a beautiful spirit to have, to learn how to rejoice in this suffering. Let's go to Sirach chapter 27, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 27. And it's really going to intensify, huh? It's going to intensify as we approach Jacob's trouble. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 27, and verse number 5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel, so the trial of man is in his reasoning. You see that? So the furnace proveth the potter's vessel, right? Because the potter's vessel is of clay, but they put it through a kiln, a brick kiln. That's what they call it, right? And it heats up that clay and it hardens that clay. So that furnace, and some pots, they break because they can't take the heat and they shatter once that temperature in that brick kiln hits a certain degree. Certain pots, they actually just shatter inside, man. Then other pots, they endure that heat and they harden up, and it makes them harder so they can endure more. You want to be a pot that's been put through the brick kiln and you're not just easily malleable. You don't want to be clay that anybody could just mold and form and just manipulate. You want to be clay that's hardened. You went through the fire, you went through that brick kiln, and it's hard to mold the vase. You can't mold the vase. It's already hardened. It's battle tested. So the furnace is going to test the endurance of pots and vessels. We're vessels from the Most High. Who's the potter? Yahweh. Let me get that in Jeremiah 18 real quick, right? Didn't the Lord tell Jeremiah to go to the potter's house, right? This Jeremiah chapter 18 and verse number 1, right? Jeremiah 18 and 1. The word which came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, saying, arise and go to the potter's house, and there I will cause thee to hear my words. And he literally did this. He went to an actual potter's house. On a metaphoric level, the potter is the Most High, and we're the clay, formed out of the dust of the ground, and breathe into our nostrils the breath of life. Verse number 3. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels. So if you ever watch pottery, they got to paddle and move the wheels, and then they got the clay spinning, and they're working on the clay, right? The clay may get taller, how they mold it, and they may move their hands a certain way, and the clay may get wider. They work on the wheels. Verse number 4. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So he made it again, another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make it. So he was making his clay. He's like, I don't like it. So he started over and molded again. Then he made the clay again, and he was like, this is what I want. And it's up to the potter to determine how the clay is going to be made. It's completely up to the potter's disposition to determine, do I want this vase to be tall? Do I want it to be short? Do I want to break it? Do I want to preserve it? Do I want to sell it? Do I want to keep it for my family? It's up to the potter's discretion. Now think about us being the clay and the Most High being the potter. You are formed literally and spiritually the way that the Most High wanted you to be formed. Rather you're tall, short, brown skin, light skin, dark skin, brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, right? You're created as a woman. You brothers are created as men. You got Judites, you got Benjamites, right? You got tall brothers, you got overweight brothers, you got skinny brothers. And the Most High made you the way that he wanted to make you, man. And you got to deal with it. He made your spirit the same way. I'm going to make this brother have a mighty spirit. This brother, I'm going to give him a 30-fold spirit. This sister, I'm going to give her this spirit. It seemed good to the potter to make you the way that he wanted to make you. Verse number 5. Then the word of the Lord came to me saying, and there are certain brothers that deal with certain sins, man. The Most High made that way. He made it that way. Like I said, you got brothers that deal with lust. Then you got brothers that deal with gambling. Then you got brothers that deal with alcohol. Then you got brothers that deal with black and milds. Then you got brothers that deal with depression. You got brothers that deal with wrath. You got brothers that deal with murmuring and backbiting. They just can't help it. They have to murmur. Then you got brothers that also deal with fornication, right? So the Most High created you with an infirmity as well. Verse number 5. Then the word of the Lord came to me saying, O house of Israel, can I not do with you as this potter, said the Lord? Behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in mine hand, O house of Israel. So the Lord can do what he wants with us. Now, potters, like I said, they put clay through the brick kiln or through the furnace. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Right? Let's see. Brick kiln. What is it used for? A kiln is primarily used for the heat treatment of materials, most commonly ceramics, glass, and metals. It's a thermally insulated chamber that reaches high temperatures to harden, dry, or change the physical structure of these materials. And the Most High does that with us, man. He puts us through this thermally insulated chamber. He'll put you through hell. And the pot can't get out. Only the potter could take the pot out of the chamber. Now, the potter knows how long it should be in there. You don't know how long you need to be in that furnace. See, and that's the problem with a lot of brothers. You're so easy to pray that the Most High delivers you from the furnace. Now, what if a potter took the clay out of the furnace before it began to harden? Then the vessel would be unprofitable. See, it's easy to pray that the Most High takes you out the furnace. It's easy. But then again, what if the Most High takes you out before you get to go through what you need to go through? You have to go through that hardship. The Most High knows how long you need to be in there. So it's even better at times to pray that the Most High allows you to endure the furnace. Pray that the Most High allows you to endure the chastisement, right? The affliction. And stop always looking for a way out all the time, huh? Shalom, Amos.
Shalom, shalom, King.
Okay, shalom. Right, so stop always looking for a way out, man. The Most High, sometimes he wants you to bear that. Why? Because you have to go through the hardening, right? And this pretty much anything in life, man. Right? Anything requires you to be molded, right? That's why people go through sports. They go through, even in wickedness. You got people that go through damn wickedness in gangs, man. They got to get jumped in. You know, they got to do wicked dirt, man. Some wicked gangs, hey, you got to kill a guy, man, to harden you in wickedness. So you can get used to murder and bloodshed. So it's easy for you to kill your next brother. They might have you kill somebody's son in front of him to harden you, man. Then, so it becomes so easy to kill the next man's son. They do that, man, in wickedness on the left-hand side with demons. You don't think it happens on the right-hand side? It's to change your physical structure. It's to make you a better man, a better brother, and a better servant. So let me read this one more time. Sirach chapter 27:5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel. So we broke that down. So the trial of man is in his reasoning. So the Most High is going to put you through a trial to determine your reasoning. What are you going to do when I bring hell upon you? That's your test right there. See, the trial of man is when the Most High brings burdens on you. The trial of man isn't put when everything goes your way. How can you really know somebody's intentions if you gave them everything that they wanted? You don't know what kind of man they are. They've always had everything that they've ever wanted. You would never know who they really are until you take things away from them. Once you begin to take things away, you begin to understand who this individual actually is. And that's what the Most High does with us. He begins to take things away from us, your joy, your happiness, your money. He'll take your health away from you. He may take brothers away from you. He may put thoughts in your mind. And now he wants you to, now he's sitting back. How is he going to reason? Is he going to cleave to me? Is he going to make haste to escape? Is he going to smoke? Let's see what he's going to do. And all of the angels, they're sitting back and they're watching. what is my servant going to do? And one more point, didn't the Lord tell Satan about Job? Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him upon all the earth, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? And the Lord said, he still maintained his integrity, though you moved me against him to destroy him without cause. Paraphrasing, Job, the 2nd chapter, 1 on down. So Job was one of those men where the Most High could pretty much bank on, right? For lack of a better term, say, hey, he's the guy right there. You want the Most High to look at you like that. You want the Most High to look at you and say, actually, let me get that real quick, right? Salaki, let me just get that quick precept. Job chapter 2 and verse number 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. You see that? And that's heavy right there. For the Lord to call you out by name in front of all of the angels and say you're perfect and upright, you hate evil, and no matter what you go through, you hold fast your integrity. I don't want to destroy him. You're making me destroy him, but he's still holding it down. That's the spirit that we want to have, man. You want to maintain your integrity. Some people still lose their money and they start stealing. They start scamming. They start thinking about who they could rob, who they could lie to get money. Some people lose their job, man, and they become completely they become infidels. What else? Some people get marital problems and they go commit adultery and fornication when the Most High bring them problems in their marriage. Some people have health issues. Now they smoking weed. Is it okay if I'm gonna eat this brownie and then I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna smoke and I'm gonna rub this and I'm just CBD and I'm gonna smoke a blunt and then I'm going through pain? See, the Most High will give you pain, man. You see how you're gonna deal with that pain, right? But you got it, King.
God, shalom. Let's go to Job chapter 23 and verse number 8. Right, and that's goes back to the precept that the brother brought out inside. Right, that's the true measure of a man, how he deals with adversity, and what type of man he is once he overcomes that adversity.
Shalom.
Right, shalom. Right, everybody goes through adversity. Right, we all deal with the same things in the world. Quick precept. Let me get 1 Peter chapter 5. I believe I want to go to verse number 9.
Come on.
Right. So this 1 Peter 5 and verse number, I'm gonna start at 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Right? So the same afflictions that I go through and these two brothers go through are the same afflictions that you're going through. Right? But the difference is how you handle what's going on in that adversity. Are you going to become lackluster and turn into ash when it's tried in the fire and it becomes, or charcoal when it's tried in the fire, it becomes like dust? Right? Salaki, real quick. Salaki. When ash is tried in the fire, it turns into dust. It's not malleable. It has no value whatsoever besides being an igniter for more fire, right? That's what charcoal is. But once you go through these adversities, are you going to come out as gold? Are you going to come out refined? Are you going to come out being beheld and magnifying the Lord because you withstood those temptations, right? Your heart was right. You didn't tread to the left-hand side or to the right-hand side. That's the true measure of a man. Right, let's go to Job, the 23rd chapter. We can start at verse number 8. Where it says, behold, I go forward, but he is not there. And behold, and backwards, but I cannot perceive him. On the left hand, where he doeth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. Right? So you go through your day-to-day life, and you don't see the Most High in front of you or behind you. Right? The things that he's doing behind closed doors. Right? How he may have stopped that car from popping the curb and running you over. or how he may have turned a pack of vicious dogs away from you while you was walking up the street, right? You can't see him, but he knoweth the way that I take. When he have tried me, I shall come forth as gold. My foot have held his steps. His way have I kept and not declined. So Job, even when the furnace was hot, even when all hell was breaking loose, he lost everything. He never turned away his foot from keeping the Lord's way. And that's how we got to be in these last days, right? What they say, practice makes perfect, right? Repetition makes habits. So the more you do something, the more inclined you're going to be to continue doing it. So when you get these tribulations and troubles, don't resort back to the old things you used to do, right? Hit up Keisha and Tanya and see what they doing at 11:30 at night, because that was your comfort in the world. Or hit up Day Day, who got the loud for $10 and you get an ounce, because that was your escape in the world. No, enter into these fiery furnace. Know that through much tribulation, you're going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Know that in much tribulation, you're going to be stronger and more fine than fine gold. Right, one more precept and brothers got it. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3, right, and start at verse number 2. Right, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse number 2. Well, we'll start at 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. Right? So once these things start happening, the martyrdom, the persecution, right? The insurrection, all these things that happen upon those that fear the Lord, right? The unwise are going to look at those who gave up their life for Yahweh Shem Yahshai as them just dying, right? They die without a cause. It doesn't matter, right? That's why it says in the 5th chapter, loosely paraphrasing, us fools accounting his life as nothing, right? They're going to account us doing the work of the Lord as nothing, right? Us staying up late, looking at precepts, us watching videos, us making videos, us teaching our family, right? They account that as nothing. In this world, if you're not teaching your children about homosexuality and George Washington, and I don't know what else they teach in this world, right? Folly
Freakism.
and vanity. Say it again.
Freakism.
Freakism, right? Babylon freakism 101. If you're not teaching that to your kids, then it's not reputed, or it's not tolerable in their sight. But when we go from the norm and we start remembering the days of old, remembering the ways that we should have been walking in, now it looks like we're crazy. Now it looks like we're in a cult. Now it looks like we're just flat out crazy, right? Verse number 3. And they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. Right? So though you may be going through things and it may seem like there's no hope in sight, the light is far off. You've been down and out for 3 months because you can't shake this depression demon. Your bills keep piling up and it's taking your hours. Our hope is in immortality. Our hope isn't in Daddy Warbucks coming and giving you $100 million so that you're good, right? Anything worthwhile having, you got to work towards, right? And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself, right? So the Lord is proving you, right? Like how you court somebody, you take your time and you see if that's really who you want to spend the rest of your life with. Is this really the person you want to go to work uh, uh, 9, 10, 12 hours a day to come home to and look in their face and know that's your pillar of rest, right? The Lord is proving us. Aren't we his bride? Aren't we the ones who have to be adorned in beautiful apparel at his return? He's trying us to see how we're really gonna see how we're really gonna move when there's nowhere else to turn but to him. Right, one more verse. As gold in the furnace have he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. So fire is a purifier as well as water. Those are the top two purifiers on the earth. Right? You can rinse something out and get all the bacteria off and put it in hot water and in cold water to shock it, however you may do it, right? But fire, it burns all the imperfections out. It gets rid of everything that's not worthy or everything that doesn't hold value in whatever's being burnt. And that's how the Lord is trying us. He's putting us in the furnace, right? We're the three holy children walking all over again in our own trials and tribulations, right? But you got it, King.
Khan, Khan, that's a mighty point. Let's go to the mighty book of Baruch, chapter 4, in verse right number 25. Right, Baruch chapter 4, in verse number 25. Right? It says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you. Right? And that's a word brothers really gotta hone in on is patience, man. Right? Everything is done through patience. Right? The husbandman sowing the seed is through patience, right? Childbirth, creating a seed is through patience. You know, everything in life is through patience. It says the wrath that has come upon you from God, for that thine enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shall tread upon his neck. And that's what we're looking for, man. The Lord is not a man that he shall lie, right? It says, my delicate ones have gone, right, rough ways. And we've gone through rough ways, man. Slavery, violence, right? Police, riots, tribulation, death, man. Right? I mean, brothers done caught hell, spirits. Right? Brothers have a hell of a lot that they could attest to as testimonies, and it's true of what brothers done been through, man. Like the Lord said through the hand of Sirach, he that has traveled have much experience. The brothers have traveled places, man. You know, humbly speaking. Brothers have seen things, seen diverse spirits and principalities over different regions. And we can see the hand of the Most High. It says, my delicate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children. So even in this estate, the Lord is telling you to be of good comfort, not because you have a foot on your neck, or because you have shackles on, or you're in your enemy's land. That's not the good comfort. The comfort is the respected end that the Lord has promised unto you, man. You can't just look at the chastisement. You have to look at the end, man. See, the whole reason we're in this situation is because we sinned. But we can't just stop there and mope in our sins and be overthrown. We have to look toward the end, toward mercy, toward the blessings, and really toward prophecy so we can have something to look forward to. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh, for ye shall be remembered of him and brought these things upon you. Right? So the Lord said he'll remember you. He's not going to forsake you in your tribulation and things that brothers go through, man. I know every brother think they're forsaken every single time they call hell. Man, even David said that, man. I said in my haste I am cut off. Jeremiah thought he was cut off in a dungeon. Many men thought they were cut off, man. You know, even brothers on his live, man. Right, watching. You may have thought you were cut off. Well, I haven't been on fire like that. Maybe it's the Lord dealing with me, man. Every brother had that question run past his mind, whether it was sincere or whether it was Satan plugging them, whether the Most High was really dealing with you or not, man. Because you're in this flesh, your back is against the wall. You're not always on fire like you want to be, man. You're always fighting. And sometimes Satan, you understand, has the upper hand. But this isn't a battle, this is war, man. And in war, you understand, you may get pushed against the wall, but that doesn't mean that it's all said and done, man. Right, let's go to the mighty book of Genesis, chapter 47, in verse number 9. Right? Genesis chapter 47 and verse number 9. And brothers gotta really love fighting, man. Right, on a spiritual level. You have to get used to fighting, man. You know, a brother that just wants all hugs and candy and feast days and trumpets and all of the music blowing and all the wine poured, that brother's not in this truth for the right reasons, man. You know, I was kind of meditating. I think that was yesterday on Yahweh Shah. I was watching something, and somebody was going in depthly on how he suffered. You know, how his back was whooped and beat, how he had his flesh hanging out, and how he was rubbing against the cross, man, and that wood. And he had to breathe in and out, and how that was rubbing against his back, man. You know, that's suffering. There's a lot that, you know, brothers have suffered before us that makes our trials look light. So you have to really, you know, examine what you really look at is catching hell. It's let me get this real fast. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 47, and verse 9. And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years, right, of my life been. Who said this? Jacob said this, man. Even Jacob said, look, my days have been evil. Look at all of the walks and the journeys Abraham had to go through. The Philistines stopping the world of Isaac. There's nobody in the scriptures, like brothers always say, that didn't catch hell, man. That was just always shining and happy without sorrow. At some point, it says, few and evil, right, have the days of the years of my life been, and I have not obtained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. So always remember, man, few and evil are your days, right? You're appointed in this life not to be comfortable. Even the wisest man on earth, Solomon said, therefore I hated life, right? In Ecclesiastes 2 and 17, right? So if he had all of the riches, all of the money, right? Anything the heart could wish, he had slaves, manservants, and singers, pools, and the treasures, the hidden treasures of kings, paraphrasing greatly. He even said, therefore I hated life. Because you're not truly living, right, until you're with Yahweh Shah. So, I mean, brothers have to endure this small trial of tribulation and temptation the Most High set you in. But brothers got it.
Khan is right. That's right. I want to go to the book of Jonah. Right? You got to catch hell. It's a rite of passage. Right? It's a rite of passage. That's how the Most High is going to determine if you're worthy or not, man. This is our rite of passage, man. We got to go through the process. People that want to join fraternities, they got to get beat up, damn, do God knows what, indulge in all manner of folly, man. They got to go through a rite of passage. People that want to be athletes, they got to go through a rite of passage. People that want to be world famous celebrities, they got to do stuff on the left hand side, man. They got to do a sacrifice. They got to do God knows what with a Amalekite, right? They have to do all manner of lewdness and vanity as a rite of passage, man. Right? To reach that next level, there's always something, even in this man's world, man. We have to take finals and these damn vain tests just to go through the next level. In order to get to the next level and elevate, there's always a rite of passage that the sons of men have to go through, man. Right? Now, this is the greatest rite of passage, which is this furnace. Right? This is Jonah 2:1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Most High, his God, out of the fish's belly. Now, the fish, he was literally in the fish's belly, right? But on a spiritual level, this represents hell and suffering. And one thing you got to do when you catching hell is always remember the Most High, bro. Satan will blind you, put blinders on you and make you forget about the promises. Forget about it. You're not thinking of crowns on your head, slaves, servants, and handmaids. The minute you drive and your car break down, the first thought that don't come to your mind is, ruling over the nations, man. Right? And sipping wine with Yahweh Shah. Because that affliction is to take your mind, it's like a temptation to take your mind away from Yahweh Shah. Right? Jonah, the thing he did in the fish's belly is he prayed to the Most High. When you read Acts the 16th chapter, Paul and Silas, they were in prison and they sang songs to Yahweh Shah. And the Lord delivered them out of the prisons. Right? And that's the spirit that we want to be in. We want to grow and get to this level where during affliction and suffering, instead of our first instinct and a reflex being complaining, murmuring, railing against the Most High, pleasing the flesh, we want to get to the point in this knowledge as men of the Lord where our first instinct is to be spiritual and not carnal. Your first instinct when your car breaks down is you say, call hello, Yahweh Shah. Challenge yourself, man. First instinct when you don't get that job is you say, call Lord Yahweh Shah. You pray to the Most High. First instinct when you rolled your knee, you say all praise to the Most High. And you take it cheerfully and you pray to the Most High. That's where we need to be. Verse number 2. And I said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto Yahweh. And he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. And the Lord hears you, man. Right? You're not alone. Didn't the Lord send the angel down there with Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael? Didn't Nebuchadnezzar stand up and say, I tied up 3 men? Why is 4 men in there? And the 4th is like the Son of God, paraphrasing. So the angel was there, man. And it says they didn't even smell like fire. Not a hair was burnt. And he had a long song. It wasn't a short song, right? It was a long song in a furnace. Hold on, let me get Amos back in here. Come on. Right? It was a long song. Verse number 3. So the Lord does hear you. The Lord heard us in Egypt, right? The Lord heard our fathers in captivity. The Lord heard the prayers for the saints when Peter was in prison, right? The Lord hears you in your affliction. Verse number 3. For thou hadst cast me into the deep and the midst of the seas, and the floods compassed me about. All thy billows and waves passed over me. And that's horrible, bro. You can't even, nobody can imagine what that's like. And when you go in that whale's belly probably and you was going under pressure, you got to have certain equipment on, man, to get deep in that water. Whales get deep. And his ears were probably bleeding, popping, man, you know, because of that pressure. Felt like he was going to literally explode. His heart was probably beating when he get deep in them waters. You got to have equipment on. You got to be in a controlled vessel to go deep in those waters, man. Seasick, throwing up in the well, probably tossed to it, the well spinning around, and he going down the damn esophagus, hanging on by the tonsil, climbing back up. And the fish, it's not just stop eating just because Jonah's in there, man. Some whales, they just open their mouth and they just swim, and it's just stuff coming in. And God knows what is just coming in, you know? Damn, other animals that he fighting other animals in there, man, blocking them off. It's dark, he can't see, it stink. Something stung him. It's a damn octopus he fighting. It has had to been the worst thing, one of the worst things that any of the elect have ever had to go through. Man. This is hell. You know? So he was crying out. Verse number 4. There's the point. Then I said, I am cast out of thy sight, yet I will look again toward thy holy temple. See that? He said, yet I will look again toward thy holy temple. Even though I'm cast out, even though I'm being judged, even though I'm going through this fire, even though I'm going through the affliction, yet I will look again toward thy holy temple. Yeah, I caught hell today, man. Yeah, I missed the bus. They splashed, the people was driving on the curb, splashed the water on my face. It started raining. I lost my keys. I lost my wallet, you know. And a woman called me, said she leaving and she taking the kids. I go home and I got this eviction notice on my door, you know. I got to climb through the window. I climb through the window, the glass break and cut my damn hand. I get down, I turn the AC on because it's 98 degrees. The AC don't work. Open the refrigerator, the damn food spoiled. And then a wise brother, he's going to go and he's going to open up that Bible, man. After all that hell, he's going to sit down. He's going to have composure, reserve. He's going to sit like this. He's going to light some incense. And he's going to open up those scriptures. And he's going to say, call on Yahweh Bashmi Abishah. Right? He's not going to be frantic. That's how Jonah was. It reads, the waters compassed me about, even to the soul. The depth closed me round about. The weeds were wrapped about my head. And some of that stuff is poisonous, man. Poisonous weeds and stuff. You got sea urchins and them spikes that get all in you, man. Right? I went down to the bottoms of the mountains. The earth with her bars was about me forever. Yet hast thou brought my life from corruption, O Yahweh, Bashmi Abishai, my God. And this is a beautiful chapter right here. He went down to the bottom. That's what brothers call I hit rock bottom. Right? You hit rock bottom and you lost it all. Everything was taken away from you. Yet the Most High delivered you. Right? Let's go to one more. Job chapter 13. Right? Yet the Most High delivered Jonah. He delivered him, huh? Job, one more quick precept. Job 13 and verse number 14. Wherefore do I take my flesh and my teeth and put my life in my hand? Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. He shall also be my salvation, for an hypocrite shall not come before him. And even if the Lord afflicted you, it says, yet will I trust in him. Imagine the Lord, Yahweh Shai. If you really want to understand this, imagine Yahweh Shai coming down and meeting you, and he take a knife and he just says, give me your arm, and he just slices your arm right there. A lot of brothers, and get off of me, man. What are you doing? Might push the Lord off, man. What the hell is going on? Right? Who are you? Then the Lord said, give me your other arm. And he kind of just do a slice right there. Not to kill you, right? It's affliction. Imagine the Lord literally just slaying you, man. Just doing damage to you. And you say, you know what? I still trust in you, Yahweh, right? Call on Yahweh, right? You may think that's completely out the loop, but that's real. That's what this is talking about on a spiritual level. The Lord is cutting us, he's afflicting us, he's beating us, he's taking stuff away from us, but yet will I trust in him, man. Yet will I trust in him. Right, brothers, got it.
God. Let's go to James chapter 1 and start at verse number 2. Right, and that's the mind state of the elect. Right, we should all have the mind state of the elect as we move closer to these troubling times coming. Right, this isn't a church sermon, right, where you can just hear these verses and then go throughout your week talking about, whoo, pastor saved me this week. No, these are words to live by, ideologies to continue to motivate you to continue to endure, right, to continue to push you when you feel like you're getting resistance. Right, this is James chapter 1 and verse number 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Right? So the trying of your faith is going to require a lot of patience. It's going to require a lot of revamping and rethinking how you look at situations. Right? How you deal with situations. Right? Because all these diverse temptations are the same things, just a different mask. If brothers get what I'm saying. Right? It's all the same thing over and over and over. And it's how you learn how to deal with it. Right? Like the brother said, your car break down. Are you literally punching the steering wheel, cussing and damn near crying? Or are you calling upon the Lord and thanking him for the affliction and thanking him for the opportunity to be able to put more trust into him? Because that's what really it all boils down to. Is, do you trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua? Right, verse number 4. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Right? So patience is going to work perfectly in you when you take your time, you meditate on the precepts, you pray unto the Most High, you always have the Most High as the frontless of your eyes. That's when you're truly going to be able to be perfected. Right? There's no way possible to be perfect without Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? And going through day-to-day walks in this captivity, right? You have 1,000 different things that you have to meditate on. Bills, work, health, children, finances, right? What else?
You said health already?
Yeah, health, oppression, right? You could be driving down the street, the police pull you over.
Right.
Say your tag is out, and now they want to slam you on the ground for no reason. Right? Spirits hopping on you. All this stuff is working your patience, trying your patience, having you exercise the fruits of the spirit, seeing if your mind frame is really part of the elect's mind frame, or are you just doing this for show? Because the Lord is trying your heart. He's seeing where your heart is in these last days. Right? The Lord isn't giving you everything your heart desires. Now, if he is, you might have to question some things. Right? If you pray that the Most High give you new transportation, you get new transportation, you get new house, you get a new house, and you have no worries at all, you got to question some things. Right? Because the Lord he's going to try you. He's going to try you like gold is tried in the fire. Right? What's the use in needing the Lord if you could get everything you want? Right? That time isn't here yet. Right? You have to work to get what you need. Right? Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, and start at verse number 24. Right? 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, and verse number 24. Right? Because we all are striving to be the servants of the Lord, to be able to be given drink and food when nobody else in the world can. Where we're all striving for that. But you have to understand that it's going to take patience, right? Your feet are going to get weary. Your hands are going to get heavy, but you got to keep moving. You got to keep running. right? This marathon doesn't stop because you're tired, right? This is 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and verse 24. Abide still, O my people, and take thy rest, for thy quietness shall come. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, and establish their feet, right? So the Lord has given us wisdom to nourish us, that our feet could be stable, right? So that we don't have feeble knees in these last days, that we can stand strong and understand that this is just a small portion of birth pains to be able to be delivered, right? As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Right? So the servants of the Lord, they're not going to perish, right? They're not going to fall by the sword. They're not going to fall in the famine, right? They're not going to be overthrown by the enemy, right? They're going to be preserved under the wings of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance, right? So once you catch these hell, right, you catch these trials and tribulations and this torment, right, when the day of trouble comes, aren't you going to be merry because you done built up that spiritual armory, right? You're in spiritual shape to deal with the sorrows and anguish that's coming, but the Lord is preserving you, right? How the Lord gave Jonah that gorge, right? It's the same thing he's going to do for us if we don't be weary and faint. If we don't give our hearts over to madness and foolishness and lust and lasciviousness and vanity, right? If we keep our heart where it needs to be, right? The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Right? So the Lord is going to have his hands over us, that we're not seeing the destruction, the death, the anguish, right? If you truly put your trust in him. Right? A few more verses. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord. Remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth and show mercy unto them, for I am merciful, saith the Lord Almighty. Embrace thy children till I come, and show mercy unto them, for my wells run over, and my grace shall not fail. I, Edris, received the charge of the Lord upon the Mount Oreb, that I shall go into Israel, but when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the commandment of the Lord. Right? So these verses were written strictly for the Israelites, right? They were written directly for our forefathers and foremothers, but they didn't set the charge that Edris came with in the commandments of the Lord as the frontlets of their eyes, right? It wasn't the apple of their eyes. They despised it, right? They thought following after other gods, following after money, music, these TV shows, these celebrities, right? These entertainers, right? They thought that was more better than to serve the Lord, right? Last verse. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand. And no, that's not talking about the other nations and Gentiles. That's talking about us, right? We're those heathens, right? Because we didn't put our trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We put our trust in false gods and money and gold and silver. Look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand that shall come in the end of the world. So the shepherd is coming to get the lost sheep, right? And the lost sheep are those that hear his voice and do his commandments, right? Like the Lord said, if you love me, keep my commandments. That's going to be able to differentiate between the wheats and the tares, right? Those who serve the Lord and those who serve mammon, right? But you got it, King.
Come, that's right. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7, and let's start at verse 14. Ecclesiastes 7 and 14. That's why you got to watch on a spiritual level, man. Right? It's what the Lord said. In the day of prosperity, be joyful. Right? Enjoy yourself. Right? You go to the park, go out to eat, you spend time, with the brothers, whatever the case may be. Right? It's a feast day. Right? You enjoy the times of prosperity. It says, but in the day of adversity, consider God also have set the one against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. So you have to consider in times of prosperity, temptation, adversity, right? Because this is such things getting blindsided for brothers that play sports, man. If you running with the ball and you get blindsided, it's going to hurt 7 times more than you seeing that brother coming because you could prepare yourself for that contact. If you want to fight and somebody comes up behind you and steals you in the face, right, it could be a 50-50 chance that can knock you out, right? But if you're head on and you can see your opponent, you could brace yourself, you could prepare. That's how it is spiritually, man. When things blindside you unaware and you're not in the spirit and it's caught off guard and you're not applying the precepts, it's going to utterly knock you off and it's going to overthrow you. That's why the Lord said in the day of prosperity, be joyful, but in the day of adversity, consider. You have to consider. Consider that it's not just going to overthrow you, that the Lord's going to bring you out of that as well. Because a lot of people get drowned up in sorrow, man. Sorrow is a demon. And that demon, it pulls you down. You got to always remember your joy of the Most High is your strength. What are you joining in his salvation? You join in that spirit that he knows that he's a man of his word. The Lord is not a man that he shall lie. He's going to make well the precepts. He's going to take you out of adversity and temptation. But brothers don't believe that and forget that in times of adversity, and they lose their strength and joy in the Lord. Therefore, Satan has the upper hand and overtakes them and overthrows them and devours them. Let's go to the mighty book, right, of Psalms, chapter 124, in verse number 1. Psalms chapter 124, verse number 1, right? It says, if it had not been for the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side. See, David said it twice. If it hadn't been for the Most High, when brothers was down bad, brothers would have been back in the world, man. You don't know the strength that the Most High is putting you day by day, even in your weakness, man. Even in your weakness, the Lord is putting strength in you. Because if the Most High didn't put strength in you in your weakness, you would have gave up. You know how easy it is to give up, man? How many times people want to throw in that towel, give up, turn their back, and do their own pleasures, or stop lifting that spiritual weight because it's too heavy, man. All of that sin weighing you down to keep moving and keep traveling. It says, if it had not been for Yahweh, who was on our side, when men rose up against us. Now, obviously David was a warrior, right? And a king, and he obviously went to battle. But two, spiritually, these men are demons and spirits, tribulations and things that rise up against you, man. Right? Mental problems, financial problems, maritable problems, right? Back problems, right? All type of things about damn infirmities of your body. It says, then they have swallowed us up quick when the wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters had overwhelmed us, and the streams had gone over our souls. It's talking about men, right? That you could read about in verse 2. Those things could overwhelm you, man. And the Lord said by the hand of David in Psalms 88, while I suffer thy terrors, I am distracted. So these things could distract you, right? If a truck is coming and you're not occupied on moving and you're distracted, you're going to get hit. It says the waters had overwhelmed us. And when you're in waters, you get overwhelmed, it's hard to swim, right? And the quickest way to drown is by panicking, right? What they call it, treading water, right? When you tread water, you do it nice and relaxed. They tell you even if you drown, it just relax and look up, man, and your body will naturally float. But through panicking, through worrying, right, by not being in the spirit and not applying the things that you are too, you're going to drown, man. You're going to drown quick. The streams had gone over our souls. Then the proud waters have gone over my soul. Blessed be the Lord who have not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowler. What does that mean? Every situation that was going to devour you, overtake you, and destroy you, the Lord said, my soul has escaped. It escaped as a bird out of the snare. And that's rarely happened when you look at nature. If a hunter sets a snare, it's not warranted or common that a bird escapes that, because they're caught like a thief in the night. The snare is broken and we are escaped. What does it mean the snare is broken? meaning the situations that consume you and overtake you and overthrow you. The Lord breaks that, man. Things that are set in secret places. Because that's what a snare is. A snare isn't out in the open. It's decorated in all gold. And then all of the creatures are, just prone to see what this is about. They're hid in secret places, in dens and crevices. They're camouflage with leaves. That's how these demons are. They come out in the worst times. Here you are visiting your mother. It's a demon come out of nowhere, man. Right? You're trying to, make amends for a situation, or you're in a council. Whatever the case may be, that's how these demons and these spirits are. They're laid wait. But the Lord delivers you out of that. Says the snare is broken and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord. Right? So your help, your refuge, and your strength is in the name of Yahweh. And remembering that, who made heaven and earth. Right? So again, when you're going through these things, that's the only way you're going to escape, is by calling upon the name of the Lord, man. Not getting overtaken and overthrown, right, and distracted in this world. It's easy to get distracted, man. Getting distracted is so easy, but staying focused and remembering the Lord, that could be difficult sometimes, man. Especially when Peter was sinking. Peter was sinking, man. He took his eyes off the Lord. And that's written twofold for our learning's sake. Once you take your eyes off Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you're going to sink. Doesn't matter how boisterous the wind was, right? Or how dark it was, or how late it was. That's insignificant to keeping your eyes on the Lord, no matter how deep and hard these situations get, man. And that's one of the most scariest things, man. He thought he saw a spirit. It's dark, it's late, wind blowing, waves clashing, right? God knows what was going through his mind. And as he was trying to move forward, he had every roadblock and situation, that he had to think about, which could distract him from keeping his eyes on the Lord. Brothers got it.
Con, that's right. That's right. That's a beautiful account to go into. I'm gonna get Psalms chapter 27 and verse number 12. Right on down. Psalms. I'm gonna start at. I'm gonna read 12. Psalms chapter 27 and 12. Deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. So, in this captivity, we're vulnerable, man. You have false witnesses, you have the media, right? You have these elites. You're going to have false brethren. The Lord even speaks of brother delivering up brother to death, parents delivering up the children unto death. You have slander. You have all of these false labels put on the men of the Most High, right? To call us extremists, domestic terrorists, black identity, so-and-so. All of these are false witnesses and adversaries that rise up against us, and they breathe out cruelty. We're very vulnerable and susceptible to punishment, being a prey in this captivity, man. All we have is the Most High, right? Verse number 13. I have fainted unless I have believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And that's heavy that David said that. He said he was almost done, right? I almost fainted. When you faint is not always just an instantaneous, just fall back. Some people, they slow down, right? Some people, they be running, then they kind of get to a jog pace, then they kind of walk, then they say, I can't breathe, and then they just collapse like that. So people that faint, it's not always spontaneous or random. It's usually a buildup to fainting. It's usually a buildup to those things. And when you faint, you're in complete darkness and you have no more vigor. David said, I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living, man. Right? And you have to really keep your mind on the prize, man. You have to keep your mind on the prize. Some people that run these marathons, you don't think they want to faint, man. You don't think they want to give up. See, right now it's the time what you call the 12th round. Back in the day, I don't know if they still do it. They still got 12 rounds, probably heavyweight in boxing.
They still got 12. Back in the day, they used to go like 15 and 18 rounds.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? But that's why they was all jammed up. But now they got 12 rounds, man. It's easy to fight in that first round, right? It's easy when you first start. You get out there, you walk these boxers out, you bringing out them your favorite rapper with you, your favorite celebrity. You got your theme music, you got the fireworks. Look at Rocky 4 with Apollo Creed. Man, he came out, he had the music going. Living in America. He had the whole song going out. And what happened, man? It was over. Some boxers go out in the first round, they throw their jabs, whatever. You kind of get a feel for them. Second round, you win this thing. Third round, you might take a blow. Fifth round, but when that 12th round come and they ring that bell, that's when your knees are weak. And he's tired too, man. Both of y'all are tired, but somebody got to win, right? Somebody got to win. And it's truth, ain't no unanimous draw. They do that in boxing. I think they call it a unanimous draw or a draw, whatever. A tie. There ain't no tie, man. Either you win or you lose in this truth. And this is the 12th round right here, man. Wars are going on. Famine is on the rise. Economies are collapsing. You have to believe that you're going to see the goodness of the Lord. Like them boxers, they see themselves with that championship belt, man. I can see they say I can see it now. They can see themselves holding it up, man. They can see the ref holding their right hand up. They can see themselves on the ring when they climb the turnbuckles and wave to the crowd. You have to believe that you're going to see the goodness of the Lord, man. And when you catch your hell, think about those promises. Think about immortality. Think about everlasting life. Find that space where you're going to be ruling over these nations. Find that space, man. Your car break down and you're thinking about a chariot. You catch your hell at your job, you're thinking about you enslaving these nations. Your health is messing up. Think about everlasting life and immortality and spiritual bodies. For every hell and negative thing that you're catching, there's a positive and a promise that the Most High has to offset that. And that's what you have to look at, man. Right? You catch hell from your folks and your parents. Hey, you're going to have, the Lord said 1,000-fold, 100-fold in the kingdom. Right? Verse number 14. Wait on Yahweh, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on Yahweh. You have to wait. Literally, you have to wait on the Most High. He's going to come at his time, but you have to be of good courage, right? You have to be of good courage so the Most High can strengthen you. Let's go to Psalms chapter 77. This is the 12th round right here, man. Right? Some of them boxers, they be in the 12th round, they can barely damn move, and they just throwing a punch, man. They fall down. Hey, one more point in boxing. If you they call it a knockdown. If you might not get knocked out, but if you slip and fall, if it don't look right, it's a knockdown. And them judges, they see that. Them judges, them guys, they watch everything, man. They're very analytical. They're watching they study your hits, right? They study your dodges. They study if you slipped and fell, that's a knockdown, it's a clean hit. That's how the angels are watching you in this 12th round, man. They're watching all of these things, right? This is Psalms, and all the take is one knockdown. And now people kind of question, did he get knocked out? Was it you don't even want that to be a questionable thing for you in this ring, man. Right? This Psalm 77 and verse number 7. Will the Lord cast off forever? Will he be favorable no more? Is his mercy clean gone forever? Doth this promise fail forevermore? And these are thoughts that David had. And these are thoughts that we have. Is the Most High still dealing with me? I mean, damn, did I go off? Am I still in this truth? Right? Is he about to destroy me? Hath God forgotten to be gracious? Hath he in his anger shut up tender mercy, Salah? And I said, this is my infirmity, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. And that's what you have to do, man. He said, this is my infirmity. This is my problem. I have to accept this. I can't blame no one for this. This is my situation. This is my fight. Amos can't fight this for me. Ariah can't fight this for me. This is my infirmity. I have to deal with this. And I'm going to remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. Remember all of the things that the Most High gave you, man. Remember those dreams the Most High gave you. Remember the visions that you saw. Remember how the Most High brought you in this truth, man. Remember how the Most High delivered you from many circumstances, from straits and situations. Remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. That's how you're going to endure these infirmities. Because now you know that the Most High, he's the one that brought you into these infirmities, and through his right hand, he will deliver you out. Brothers, God.
Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10. We're going to start at verse number 9. Right, like the brother said, the championship rounds, man. In the NCAA basketball, they got this thing, it's called March Madness. Right, they got the tournament. Right, you got the round of 64 where the top teams play the easy teams. right? And as you go into the latter part of the bracket, it gets harder and harder and harder, right? It doesn't get easier as you get to the end, right? That's a misconception and a lie that I don't know, Esau may have told you. The longer you do it, the easier it gets. No, it gets harder,
Right.
right? When you lift and waste them last couple reps, man, when you hit 7, 8, 9, your arms shaking, you can barely get it up.
Can,
Come,
can I make a quick point?
come.
2 point. Well, 2 quick points. And some of those games are back to back to back to back. They don't get no rest. And if you like a number 1 seed or number 2, 3 seed, they play hard to try to upset you, man. To get the upset. They playing with a chip on their shoulder. That's how it is in this truth. Like us being, if we'd have chosen the Most High, and these spirits are working hard to bring out the upset, man. But you got to want to make that point.
Come. It's never an easy road to the championship, right? Even look at these past couple championships for those who watch sports, right? It's grueling. You got to deal with injuries, right? You got to deal with turnovers. You got to deal with slip ups, right? All these things come to championships. Everything comes full circle for those who win championships, and we're trying to get that championship. We're trying to get that crown, right? That incorruptible crown, man, right? Immortal bodies. Right? So you got to take the good with the bad, the punches, right? The mishaps, right? They got a thing in boxing. Yeah, we're using a lot of sports analogies, right? But when somebody slips, it doesn't count as a knockout. They just fell, right? But they get back up. So sometimes you're going to have slips and you're going to have falls. You just got to remember, this is what caused me to fall. This is what caused me to slip. This is what made me stumble, right? And that goes into this precept right here. Right, so this is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse number 9. Right? Neither let us tempt Yahushua, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed as serpents. Right? These are accounts that they're reminding those of the church in 1 Corinthians the 10th chapter. Right? And they were destroyed by the serpents. That's Numbers the 21st chapter. Right? Neither murmur, yea, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed by the destroyer. Now, all these things happen to them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. So all these things are written, all these accounts are written for examples unto us how to live holy and not fall to the same diverse temptations and the same demons that corrupted our forefathers, right? Because we're all flesh, right? We're all in this corruptible flesh. We're subject to spirits hopping on us, right? I could get mad at one of these brothers out of nowhere. They can get mad at me, right? But these are written as an example and to warn us of how these things are going to come in these last days and how not to handle them like the wicked forefathers we have, or how to handle them, or how to handle them like the righteous forefathers that we have. Right, verse number 12. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. So you have to take heed, right? While you have the opportunity to stand, to be mindful, to be vigilant. Always keep your head on the swivel, like the brother said. You can see something coming at you, it's not gonna hurt as bad as if you don't see it. Your head should always constantly be moving. Not just for you, but for your household. Right? Because you're the priest of your household. You got to make oblation to the Most High, right? You got to make sure that you're directing the path of the children the right way so that they don't fall in the ways that we may have fell before we had the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right, verse number 13. There had no temptation taken you, but such as common to man. Right, so there's no strange temptation that is going to overcome you that hasn't happened to everybody who's walking on this earth. Right, you're not going to get to take the red pill or the blue pill. You're not Neo. Right, you take the red pill, you can bring back somebody that you love. You take the blue pill, I don't know, you might get $1 million. Everybody's seen the memes. Right, those type of temptations aren't going to come upon you. Right, the temptations that are going to come upon you are lust demons. Right, covetousness. Right, murmuring, evil speaking. These are the things that may try to come back and tempt you, right? And cause you to walk out of the path of the living. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So the Most High is not going to tempt you over something he knows you're not going to be able to overcome from. Right? He's not going to leave you on a cliffhanger knowing you're not going to be able to pull yourself up. All these temptations that are brought forth in your life, the Most High has an outlet. Right? They got release valves for these machines at warehouses. Like if the pressure gets built up too much so the machine doesn't blow up, you release the release valve and the air starts to come out and it starts to make that noise, right? And it avoids a catastrophe. It's the same way in this truth. You got a release valve of every temptation that is placed before you. Because the Lord even told you, when you come to serve him, prepare your soul for temptation. Gird your loins because you know that something is coming. And 9 times out of 10, we all came into the truth because we hit rock bottom. We was at the lowest of the low in our life. And the Most High gave us that escape. He gave us that above measure so the temptation doesn't overcome us, right? But will, with the temptation, also wake a way to escape that you may be able to bear it, right? So everything that you're going through, you're able to bear it. Right, you're able to withhold that. You're able to carry that cross like the Lord told you to. Right? It's not going to be something so crazy that you're just going to fall out and give up the ghost. Lord forbid. Right? But the Lord told you to carry your cross. Bear your burden. Be ready for these things as the Lord did for us. Like the brother said, he was watching something, how he had his back was getting whipped. He had it on the cross. Right? Imagine all the martyrdom that our forefathers had to go through. Look at the 12. All the 12 were martyrs for Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Right? Except John the Revelator. So you got to have your mind always focused on these things are small and minute. And the Most High gave us a way to escape. He gave us the opportunity to be strong and to be steadfast. Right? But you got it, King.
Khan, that's right. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 and verse number 11. Right? And that's beautiful that the Most High does that because there's a constant reminder. Like the Sabbath day. If the Sabbath day wasn't every, 6 days you work, 7 day you rest. I mean, if the Most High had these high holy days, it's like he gives man a reason to prepare himself and to get off loving. Say brothers got spirits on, brothers going off, anger, drinking or whatever the case may be, whatever spirit roaming the earth. And the feast days is coming up. You're more prone now to be stronger to get that spirit off you to present yourself before the Lord. And the Most High, he forces you to remember him. You got to remember, like you read about in Ezekiel chapter 20, right? That's an everlasting sign between us and the Most High is the Sabbath day, right? So the Most High, he through that mercy, he has you to make him remember him through adversity and temptation, man. Right? It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 11. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous. And no brothers, clapping and dancing and, his car got flipped over, man. He may praise the Most High, but he's also fearful. He's scared. He's wondering how he's going to get to work. He's wondering if his kids need to go to the hospital. But grievous, right? You sweating, right? You tired. You scared. You don't really know what's going on. Right? Is this judgment? Is it not? Is it chastisement? Right? You need counsel. Nevertheless, afterward, it yieldeth the peaceable fruit. So we're looking to afterward. Again, brothers have been through hell and back, man. Every brother has something to attest on this truth. Like the brother was talking about the dreams. Right? Them dreams can make you cry, man. You really think about the dreams you had, it'll make you feel like a mighty warrior of the Lord, man. You were once down, but then the Most High has showed you something. And the Most High have you to have dreams about another brother to boost that brother's spirit up, man. The Most High uses you. Peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Wherefore, lift up the hands which hang low, so like it hang down, and the feeble knees. So the Lord's not with a sulking spirit, man. You know, that's not a good righteous spirit to be within you, as a sulking spirit. You're always sad, you're moping. Like it's saying in Sirach 19, there's a wicked man that hangeth down his head, but inwardly he is full of deceit, paraphrasing greatly, man. You don't want to be that brother. Every single time you catch hell, you always mope, and everybody knows about it. Everybody don't need to know you catching hell all the time, too, man. Don't be a damn open diary. Every single time you see a brother, you sighing, man, like a woman or a dog that just got beat. You always sighing like a child. Sometimes you gotta suck it up, man. Or you suck up a fast. Brother may be on a 2-day fast, you don't even know it, man. Brother may be fasting, you don't even know it. His stomach cringing up, he hurting it, his head pounding, right? But he enduring that through the spirit, man. Sometimes you gotta suck it up and go hard, man. You understand? And bear that weight. You don't need counsel for every single little thing that goes on, man. Because you're making a man your strength at that point. You're always relying on man. Sometimes you gotta suck it up, right? And just lay hold on the Lord, man. It's not always going to be a man that's being there for you, right? Yeah, sisters have husbands, brothers, they have leaders, brothers have counselors, right? You may have fathers, whatever case may be, uncles, right? And faithful brothers. But at the end of the day, sometimes you going through things, that's the Most High put you in that situation to see how close you're going to get towards. It says, read that again. Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet. What does that mean, make straight paths for your feet? When you sorrowful and your hands are hanging down low and you got feeble knees, you about to fall. Meaning you're easy to go out the path. If you got spirits on you of sorrow, nah, I think I'll just take it in, guys. Y'all go ahead. You're taking different pathways. You're not following the shepherd. You're more prone to be in the dark, to take days off, to relax, to go to this path to the bottle, this path to the woman, this path to the basement, right? To sulk, right? You're not taking up your cross and enduring. It says, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way. The way is following Yahweh Shah. So when you have feeble knees, it's easier to turn aside, but let it rather be healed, right? Let me get one more. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 43. This is a deep precept, because these demons, they know you. That's why certain spirits brothers laugh at, and certain spirits brothers can't laugh at, man. You know, and not judging anybody, because everybody came out the world, but a brother may laugh at a drinking spirit. You know, if he drink, that's, come on, man, that's light, right? Disrespecting your husband, that's light, man. Come on, sister. Right? But what about you? What are you dealing with? Everybody has a stumbling block or a spirit that hunts their steps like a shadow, because it knows you. When you go to the book of Tobit, you could read about how it was a spirit that kneweth her, man, that loveth her, a wicked spirit that loveth her, paraphrasing greatly, man. I mean, just always loveth her to kill off men. There are spirits that trouble you, that know you. That's why you deal with the same things over and over and over, right? This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, meaning places that are inhabited with water, living waters. Right? He goes to clubs, venues, bars, right? Whorehouses, clubs, and demonic places, right? Dry places where spirits dwell, and unclean places. It says, seeking rest and findeth none. I mean, he's looking for another vessel to inhabit where there's no water, because where there's water, there's life. It says, then he saith, I will return into my house. Why is he saying that? Because this spirit knows that this spirit can overtake you if you're not in the spirit, man. Brother may not even drink at all. That really doesn't bother him. But this spirit knows he can't get to him, so he's going to crawl back into that same vessel, right? That was once before. That's like saying the same thing that Solomon said about the throw up and the vomit. And Peter, you throw it up, but you eat it right back up again. That's the same thing, but a different precept. These spirits, they come out of you, you fast, you repent, you wash, you get counsel, but you go right back to that same demon. It says, from whence I came out, and when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Right? Nobody's home, man. You done clocked out. You spiritually on autopilot mode, man. You got to watch being on autopilot mode. Autopilot mode is a sure way to crash. You don't want to have a mind state where you're really not focused, you're just in emotion. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself. And they entered in and dwelleth there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so is it, right? So like it shall it be also unto this wicked generation. And this is a cut to brothers that think that entertaining that same demon, you won't wax worse, man. You know, no better is it just refrain yourself and cry out, and bask in your weakness that the Most High can strengthen you up, just to go right back to that vomit and then it wax worse. Now you got 7 other spirits on you. It's not literally 7. It could be 1,000. It could be 800. It could be 25. And these spirits are attached themselves into you. Now you waxing worse and you waxing worse and you waxing worse. And I brought this out because some people love sorrow. They love misery. They love depression. And now they're cutting themselves. That's another spirit that is joining themselves. Now they have isolated themselves from the congregation. That's another spirit hopping on you. Now you have no longer, you become antisocial, right? You're reluctant to answer the phone. These are these spirits that are having you to wax worse and worse. So you have to check that, man. Them feeble knees, and you got to really look at the symptoms and the signs. My brother's got it.
That's right, man.
Yeah, so lucky.
Oh, what, King?
Yeah, I just had a quick point to the brother's point. That's why when you see people you used to congregate with, or those that fell out the truth, right, the state of them is 10 times worse, man. They lose that glow, that shine that they once had. Now they're lackluster, right? And we always bring up that point. It was a brother who was in the camp, and the brother fell out the truth, and he started dealing with that what was it? Transsexual unicorn.
Yeah.
Right? Probably never dealt with that type of spirit before in the world. That goes to all them spirits 7 times worse than him. Right? What you got, King?
That's right. That's right. Them spirits, man. Them spirits. Let's go to Lamentations. I want to get this, right? Let's go to Lamentations, the 3rd chapter. That's why it's important to examine yourself, man. Right? Every brother has to examine yourself. They go back to the precept, if any man thinketh he standeth, take heed lest he fall. Right? This is Lamentations chapter 3 and 24. Yahweh is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. Yahweh is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. It's a good thing, man. For the Most High to put the Spirit on the brother, and the brother's hoping. He's hoping that the Most High has mercy on him, hoping that the Most High delivers the brethren, deliver the church, deliver his household, man. He's just waiting on a salvation, enduring day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, right? Verse number 27. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. You may think the yoke is, why would the Most High want us to wear the yoke? I thought the Most High, no, it's good for a man to go through hardships, man. It's good for you to receive discipline. It's good for you to be afflicted by the Most High, right? That's written, man. It is good that I've been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes in the book of Psalms, right? So you want to bear the yoke in your youth. And once you have that yoke on you, it builds up muscle, like anything, like weights or calisthenics. All these things build you up and make you stronger. You go from bench pressing 100 pounds, now you're doing 150. Now you're doing 175. Now you're doing 225, right? You get your muscles. I believe your muscles actually tear. That's how they grow. The brother could correct me if I'm wrong. I believe your muscles kind of tear a little bit and they grow, man. That what they call that lactic acid creeps in, that burn comes in. It's good to feel that burn. If you're not feeling it, if you're doing push-ups and you don't feel no burn, then you're not doing the right thing. Right? If you lifting weights and there's no burn and you're not trying to push and do that one more, then something's not right, man. You need to fire your trainer or re-examine what your methods are. Any brother that's working and laboring, you want to feel that burn. Knowing that it brings you, makes you stronger and stronger. So it's good to have that yoke in your youth, man. I know people that run, but they run with a weight vest on. Or some people get ankle weights. It's good for them to have those ankle weights on, man. Right? It's good for you to catch hell. Sometimes it's good that you lost your job, man. Hey, like a brother said it, man. We lost, most of you brothers can attest, you sisters, you lost everything prior to coming to this truth. It was good that you did, man. It was good that nothing that you wanted to do ever worked out for you. Because if it did, then where the hell would you be at? It's good you didn't get those opportunities to sell your soul, man. It was good you didn't get those opportunities to continually break the Shabbat. Right? Love the yoke that the Most High gave you. It reads, it is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. He sitteth alone and keepeth silence, because he hath borne it upon him. And that's good, man. You're just dealing with that affliction, right? And you're examining yourself. You sit alone. You keep in silence. You're understanding this is the affliction of the Most High. You're not making all these social media posts. Why is God doing this to me? Like the brother said, you're not being acting like I'll put it like this. You uttering all your mind, man. You text the brother, ouch, I stubbed my toe. Can you give me a precept? Right? I don't know. Damn, my job told me that they're going to write me up next time I'm late. Can you go on a fast with me? There ain't nothing wrong with you. Yeah, just why? Ain't nothing wrong with using the brotherhood, right? It's not. That's what the brotherhood is for, man. Right? But sometimes you got to sit alone and keep silence. You got to be a stoic. And we brought that definition up before, man. A stoic is somebody that can deal. Let me actually get it. I don't want to quote it. Right? What is it? Stoic. Okay, here it is. A person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. Right? So you want to be able to endure hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. That goes back to Lamentations 3. He sitteth alone and keepeth silence, because he hath borne it upon him. He putteth his mouth in the dust. If so, there may be hope. It's good for your mouth to be in the dust, man. It's good for you to be at the bottom sometimes. You know? He giveth his cheek to him that smiteth him. He is filled full with reproach. The Lord will not cast off forever. But though he cause grief, yet will he have compassion according to the multitude of his mercies. For he doth not afflict wittingly, nor grieve the children of men. Yeah, the Most High don't get off on afflicting you. He's not up there laughing and being like the so-called white man is. Esau gets off on afflicting the Israelites, eating you, killing you, stabbing you, harvesting your organs. He does that willingly. The Most High don't get off on that, man. What he does is for a purpose, right? Two more. It reads, it says, for he doth not afflict willingly, nor grieve the children of men, to crush under his feet all the prisoners of the earth. The Most High, he's not up there, let me crush this brother today. Today, I just want to crush this brother. I'm going to stump my feet and smash him in pieces. He's not into that, man. That's what the Most High is saying. He doesn't afflict you for no reason. He's not doing this because the Most High, he just wants to crush you and you're a prisoner of the earth. He's not the so-called white man. To turn aside the right of a man before the face of the Most High, to subvert a man in his cause, the Lord approveth not. The Lord don't approve of that, man. Esau approves of that. Afflicting you willingly, punishing you for no reason, towing your damn car for no reason, repossessing it, man, taking your children from you because they want to. The Lord approved not. He does his affliction for a purpose, to teach you. Esau does it out of hatred. The Most High does it out of love. The Lord approveth not to subvert a man in his cause. It reads, who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass when the Lord commanded it not? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good? Wherefore doth a living man complain? A man for the punishment of his sins. Man. But you didn't know you was going to get evil from the Most High? What did you really think, man? Even Job said that. He said, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaking. What? Are we not going to receive good from the Lord and evil? Paraphrasing. Who are you to say that things are going to go your way this day when the Lord didn't command it? Who are you to say you're going to make it to work safely and not get pulled over? Who are you to say that you're going to go and you're not going to have any afflictions in your marriage, that you're not going to sprain your ankle today? Who the hell are you, man? The Lord didn't command that. You don't know what the Most High has in store for you. The Most High will give you good and he'll give you evil. That's what the Most High is telling you. Wherefore doth a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins, man? Right? So what is man complaining for? Who the hell is man? Right? You have to bear this yoke, put your mouth in the dust, and say, Tawada Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. That's all you have to say. And even more point, Micah said, I will bear the indignation of the Lord. In Micah 7:9 on down, because I have sinned against him. You got to bear the indignation. Put your mouth in the dust, wear that yoke, give your cheek to the smiters, man, and take the evil that the Most High is giving you. It's to build you up and make you strong. Brothers got it.
Come on. Yeah, I want to get this quick precept real quick. And Job, it's making me think about that precept in Job chapter 9. Right? It's Job chapter 9 verse 1. Right? And it reads, it says, then Job answered and said, I know it is of a truth, but how should man be just with God? When you can't reason with the Most High, man. The Most High doesn't owe you an explanation for anything that he does. And man feels like the Most High does, man. Like the Lord got an answer to whatever you're dealing with. Like the Most High is a man, right? That you can enter into judgment with him. It says, if he contend with him, he cannot answer him 1 out of 1,000. Right? So, I mean, if you're going back and forth with the Most High, which you can't answer the Most High 1 out of 1,000.
Right.
It says he is wise in heart and mighty in strength, who have hardened himself against him, right? Zoom out a little bit, King.
Okay.
Against them and have prospered. You know, what does that mean? When you make your heart hard and you upset, like a bad kid, man. They spilled some juice and now, you know, they get popped, right? Or you take something away from them. Now they like this, man. They making themselves hard against you. They upset. They not answering when you call. Right? They're doing nothing but putting themselves in a position to get popped again. When you harden yourself against the Most High, how is that going to have you to prosper? Hardening yourself don't always mean you're necessarily mad and you're at your wits' end in the middle of the street and it's raining and you rip your shirt open. Why? Like in the movies, man. You can harden yourself and not repent. Man, that's just going on. I mean, you start getting spirits on you, you're not going on a straight way anymore. You're just hardening your heart, man. You're not enjoying and really understanding the punishments. You're just hardening your heart, man. You know, I've heard brothers say, in this truth, I don't sin. I've heard brothers say that, man. I don't need to repent. I heard a brother say he hasn't sinned since he's been in the truth. Just madness, man. And that brother is hardening his heart against the Most High. You know? So, I mean, you got to really watch these spirits. Because once you harden yourself against the Most High, you're not going to prosper. You know? Like it says in the book of Isaiah, I get one more real quick, Isaiah 45. You know, about striving with the Most High. You can't strive with the Most High, right? This is Isaiah, right? Chapter 45, and I'm going to start at start at 9. It says, woe unto him that striveth with his maker. You are striving with the Most High. The Most High, he blew your tire out, man. So I'm always getting judged, man. Sick of this, man. You know what, man? Then them spirits start getting to you. Now you start striving against the Most High. Striving against the Most High doesn't necessarily mean you're cussing out the Most High. You can strive against his will. This is what the Most High wanted. That's 1 Thessalonians 5:18. The Lord said, in everything give thanks unto the Most High, for this is his will concerning you, paraphrasing greatly. So in everything you have to give thanks because this is his will concerning you. It says, let the potsherd strive with the potsherd of the earth, show the clay, say to him that fashioned it, what makest thou? You can't say to the Most High, why wasn't I taller or darker or lighter? Now, why wasn't my beard a little bit longer? It says, or thy work, he have no hands. Woe unto him that saith unto his father, what begottest thou? Right? And this is written because you can't question. Doesn't matter how big or how small, it's off to question things. You have to go along with the will of the Most High. It says, or to the woman, what hast thou brought forth? Right? Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel and his maker, ask me of things to come concerning my sons and concerning the work of my hands. Command ye me. I have made the earth and created man upon it. I mean, you don't ask me no questions, man. I made the earth. I made man. I'm the one moving everything around. I, even my hands have stretched out the heavens, and all their hosts have I commanded, man. That's what the Lord said. So you can't be in a spirit of questioning. When things go not going your way, don't mean you strive and buck up, get angry, question, and move in a wicked spirit. You have to give thanks, man. No matter how hard that may be, man. And sometimes, like brothers keep repeating, you just got to be silent and ponder the ways of the Most High and really ask for his enlightenment and understanding of why these things are. Because it could be judgment, or it could be you for you to be stronger. But brothers got it.
You got some Amos, or you want to bring out closing precepts? Brothers.
Yeah, we can go to Second Esdras, chapter 16, and verse 74. Right. So, food for thought for the week for all Israel. How are you progressing and being a stoic in these last days? Right? How are you progressing and carrying that burden and taking up your cross? Right? There's no time to slouch and cry. You know those slouch. What was that movie? With the dude was like this. The Disney movie.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. Right? There's no time to be walking around like that. Quasimodo, that was his name. Oh,
I don't know what that is.
Nah, but yeah, it's no time to be walking around like this, right? You got to stand tall, right? Be steadfast. Make sure you're walking on the straight and narrow path.
Dude, ugly,
Man. And didn't, if I'm not wrong, I think he got the girl too. Man, oh man.
Incest.
All praise to the Most High. Oh man. Yeah, but you can't be walking around hunchback, man. Right? Stand up upon your feet. Chest up. Right? Take some pride in being an Israelite, a righteous Israelite. Right? But this is Second Esdras chapter 16 and verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, when I would deliver you from the same. Right? So the days of trouble are brewing up on the earth. Right? We see what's going on in the so-called Middle East. Right? You see these unrighteous dealings and laws that are being passed in America. Babylon the Great. We see these things. The days of trouble are at hand, but the Lord is going to deliver us from the same. Right? He didn't put this just to deceive us. Right? He put this in the scriptures to remind us this is where our strength is. Right? This is where our hope is. This is where salvation is. It's in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, and it guided them who keep my commandments. Right? You need a God in this dark world. Right? You need somebody who has the lantern in front of you. And that's Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And precept save the Lord God. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Right? So it goes back to the precept, Sirach chapter 19 and 27 on down. Right? Don't be that guy walking around with his head down. Oh, I just committed inequity. I don't know what to do. Man, stand up and continue to put forth your right hand and your strength to do what you're supposed to do. Right? Because the moment you put your head down and let your sins weigh you down and lift up themselves, is the more you're going to continue to do it. Now you're without fear to add sin upon sin, and now you just caught out there, right? The Lord didn't forsake you; you forsook the Lord, right? So don't be bound up in your sins. Keep these law, statutes, and commandments, and fight the good fight, and know where your help and your salvation come from.
Khan, that's right. Let's get the classic. You was finished, King?
Come on.
Okay, Khan. Let's go to Revelation chapter 3. All right. Let's go to Revelation chapter 3 and verse number 2. It says, be watchful, right? And it's a lot that's going on in the earth, man. And it's easy to watch too. It's not a burdensome thing. All you have to do is type in world news. Literally. I mean, it's 1,000 things. I mean, even on your phone, it just pops up on your phone, man. You know, I don't know what service brothers got, right? But I mean, you have, as soon as you swipe your phone, you have trending and top stories without even going on any apps. You just got news on your phone, left and right, right? I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, brothers that have Twitter, are diving into, everything that's going on, hidden and unseen news, you know, other than that, make sure that brothers are keeping watch. Because again, a lot is going on in the earth very, very fast. You don't want something to happen, you don't know about it, and you're relaxing your sins and in your mind thinking that this place is going to continue, and you're not taking this truth serious. And strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before God. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, right? And hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come in thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee, right? And that's scary when you think about it, man. The Lord said, remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I mean, if you're not watching prophecy, the signs, the times, and you're not really into it, I will come on thee as a thief. So the Lord's, I mean, essentially, the only ones that's going to be taken like a thief is those that are not watching for prophecy. They're not in world news. They're not on the videos. They're not understanding what's going on in the earth. Those are going to be the ones that get caught like a thief in the night, because those are the same ones that are drinking and marrying, like in the days of Lot, in the days of Noah. Are they thinking that this thing is a game? And thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. Imagine the first thought of a man when that first raindrop hit him on the top of his forehead, man. How much fear entered into his soul as he looked up, and it never stopped raining, man. It was just, once that first drop came, it never stopped. And that's second Esdras, the 16th chapter. Once these plagues are sent, you can't drive them back, man. So just be watchful and understand how serious this is in the last days. Brothers got it.
Con, I'm gonna read Ecclesiasticus, right? I'm gonna read chapter 51, right? Let's go to Sirach 51, and I believe I want 20. I'm gonna read 26, right? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 51 and verse 26. It reads, "Put your neck under the yoke, and let your soul receive instruction, for she is hard at hand to find." So every brother has to put put their neck under this discipline, man. Right? This affliction, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and become a disciple of this truth. Right? Behold with your eyes how that I have had but little labor, and have gotten unto me much rest, man. Because the labor that you're going through and the hardships is a little compared to the much rest that you're going to receive. Right? Right now, this is light affliction. We're striving to live literally forever, immortality, everlasting life. You have to put that into perspective when you're ready to throw in the towel. Put that into perspective when you're ready to go back in the world, when you want to indulge back in sin. Think about all of the things you're going to miss out on, huh? And that you're casting to the wayside. Sirach said, I have had but little labor, and have gotten unto me much rest. Get learning with a great sum of money, and get much gold by her. Let your soul rejoice in his mercy, and be not ashamed of his praise. Don't be ashamed to praise the Most High in the furnace. Our forefathers did. We quoted them a few times. Hananiah, Azariah, Mishael, the three holy children, they wasn't ashamed to praise the Most High, man. You can't praise the Most High in the grave. Praise the Most High in the living, man. Right? Be not ashamed of his praise. Work your work for times, and in his time, he will give you your reward, man. So keep working, keep laboring, keep enduring. In the Most High's time, you're going to get your reward. It may not be when you think it's going to be. The pot don't know when he's going to get out the furnace. He has no idea. It's completely out of his that realm, right? He has no idea how long the potter's going to have him in there, right? But he has to deal with it and bear it and deal with it, right? And in his time, he will give you your reward, right? So with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh. Brother Naquam.
Shalom, brother. Right.
Shalom, brother Amos.
Kwam Yashaba. Shalom.